Events brought to you by Commando Gaming. Strategic Gaming brought to you live on twitch.tv at Commando Gaming 1. We're continuing our BTA adventures. Had to switch up the schedule slightly today, going a little earlier due to life. So we have about an hour and a half for some BTA, so let's jump into it. We've got a 4.5 skull, destroy the base mission against the clans in the urban environment. Yep. All that rolled into one at the first start of the screen. Definitely going all in here. Initiated. Usually I like to start out slow, but this is the last mission on this planet before we travel. So let's get into it. Alright, we got a detention facility to destroy. We've got a base garrison. We're actually starting out in a pretty good location for our mechs. We've got a straight line, we've got an open field for battle, so let's push forward. We've got our Madar.
Let's get down to it.
We have a Blood Asp, which we put together after last stream. We have a Warhawk.
Location confirmed.
We have a missile build night gear for fire support.
On the way, nice and slow.
Keep the night gear away in the back. Got a Timberwolf.
Moving, Commander.
Night gear H, which is a sniper configuration. And the Huntsman is our primary scout. Got a lot of mechs in repair right now, so we're just working with what we got.
Yes, Commander. Heading out.
Oh, we got enemy target.
Let's get down to
Enemy targets.
Copy that.
Now let's push up here. Keep our night gear missile build in the rear. Looks like our Timberwolf can get vision on some of the enemy forces here. Just keep moving up here.
Coordinates received.
And we'll be starting combat. Alright. So we've got an Ebon Jaguar, a Mad Dog. We've got some turrets, heavy Thunderbolt turret, that's going to be a priority. We're dealing with the garrison defenses and the turrets all at the same time here. Not
Good to go.
the ideal situation, but it is what it is. Let's actually push up right now. Let's get a tag, hopefully, on this Mad Dog to start things off with our Huntsman.
Engaging target.
I want to thank everybody for joining the stream. We started a little earlier than usual today, so maybe we'll make some new friends in this earlier lineup. Hopefully our current friends will show up and join the stream.
Ready, Commander.
All right, Timberwolf. Timberwolf, I want you to push up with your first strike. And I'm really not a fan of these heavy Thunderbolt turrets. They are super nasty. So let's start working on that one. Want to take that out as quickly as we can.
What do you need, Commander? On the way, nice and slow.
Alright, speaking about that Thunderbolt turret. But we just make sure that this Thunderbolt turret is out of business. Hey, Speed One, good morning. Actually, had to start a little early today. I have to start work a little earlier than normal. So, got to get my BTA in before work. So, glad this time probably works out better for you, ironically. So that's a nice little bonus. How's work been going? Hopefully you're staying safe and
Yeah, Commander.
not getting too disillusioned about
Moving to position.
which skewed one. What do you understand completely? The fact that I need to start work early, or that we have to get some BTA in before the start of the day? Both of those, I think, are very true. Let's do a precision strike here. I want to make sure we kill these turrets. And I completely missed on my heavy laser, which is why I did the precision strike. So I heard some really good. I read some good articles.
Barely hit.
Read some
Commander.
good articles about COVID vaccines this morning. Looks like Britain is going to be the United Kingdom. Technically,
Well, looks like they
is
know
going
we're
to be
here.
the first country to start distributing vaccines. So that's good to hear. Hopefully, the whole world can get the vaccines that they need. Unfortunately, it's going to take a while for vaccine production to ramp up, and then there's just so many people that need this vaccine. It's really unprecedented. It's similar to obviously polio, malaria, other vaccines that we have distributed around the world, but those have had decades and decades and decades to ramp up production.
Commander.
To go from having no vaccines to having vaccines for the whole world is going to be quite a challenge.
Confirmed.
So I heard, at least in my state, initially they're talking about having 300,000 doses, and those doses, rightfully so, are going to go to first responders and high-risk individuals. So, but 300,000 doses, when they said healthcare workers alone in my state are 4.4 million, so that's not even enough doses for 10% of the medical professionals. So that's pretty crazy when you think about it. All right. Not a lot of good targets for our blood asp here. No, I don't want to use the precision strike, because that's the one thing that kind of you get spoiled with. You get addicted to it. So let's just take out one of the buildings that we're supposed to take out. We can do that. Yeah, skewed one. I'm dealing with a situation where one of the things I deal with is a lot of my coworkers are on the East Coast, so they decided to set up a appointment,
Ready for
a
orders.
meeting for 10 a.m. East Coast time, which is perfectly reasonable,
On my way.
except that resulted in me having a 7 a.m. meeting. Not just a meeting, a conference call, so that's going to be fun. Alright, let's see if we can finish off this sniper turret here before I can fire. I'm assuming we're going to have some reinforcements yet.
Turret destroyed.
Yep, 7 a.m. my time, so that was,
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
it is what it is. The bonus is I can argue that I started work early and maybe take off work a little early. And I've got no shortage of things to do here. So let's do precision strike with our quad Gauss super heavy on this Evan Jaguar.
I'm sober enough to line this up.
Hey, there we go.
I'm legally obligated to inform you on pay per kill. I can see why people enjoy this line of work.
Well, I don't mind getting up early. I'm actually a morning person, which is why I stream when I stream, ironically. But it definitely is. There's a difference between you know, working at 7 a.m. and getting up at 7 a.m. if you know what I mean. All right, let's do a sprint here with our
Confirmed.
huntsman. Our huntsman is always getting beat up. All right, great. We've got enemy reinforcements. Where are they coming from? All right. Oh, I love it when the reinforcements just magically appear. So now all of a sudden we've got significant enemy forces right behind our force. So that's always great. If I'd known about that, I probably would have changed where I put the huntsman here. But you know what? We're going to press on best we can. Hi, Sorty. Thank you for joining us. The skewed one, if there's one thing that drives me crazy about this game is when they... okay, we got a marauder. Is when they have the enemy like magically appear within your sensor range, and it's like, I just want to say, look. We all know that they couldn't have magically dropped there without us seeing them, and yet there they are. Alright, so we got a night gear. Yeah, let's hit this night gear while we can. Actually, we'll do warlord here, because I've got to work through this new enemy force pretty quickly here. He is a problem with this Timberwolf build. We're going to overheat for one round. Yeah, that was probably worth it. Probably worth it. We took some weapons out.
Pushing the red line.
Skewed one.
What do you need, Commander?
How are your BTA adventures going? Are we
On the way,
having
nice
some
and slow.
fun with the PlayStation 5 as well? Hopefully. All right, we got a rifleman, phantom. Yeah, let's make this rifleman go away. How about that? So we're gonna do warlord. This rifleman probably doesn't have a chance.
Taking the shot, Commander.
Oh, an Irby. Wow, Skewed One, you're bringing back memories. Skewed One just recently did a fresh start, and he's out there fielding Irbies while I'm
Light damage.
fielding blood asps. So it feels like I'm cheating a little bit here.
Good to go.
But I mean,
Coordinates received.
an Irby? What other mechs do you have available that you're fielding an Irby? That's the first thought that comes to mind to me. Let's do a precision strike here on the rifleman. I really don't care about salvage on a rifleman. Nice hits there. Oh, okay. You put your mortars in it, and then you sit back. But somebody still cored it anyways, huh?
Got it.
Was that a lucky strike, or did the enemy get behind you? Maybe there was some reinforcements that magically appeared behind you. I love that. But I could see a mortar build being a thing for an Irby now that I think about it. That could be a thing. our huntsman's in a tough place here. I have to be very careful with this huntsman.
Reporting. Heavy damage.
Fortunately, that Evan Jaguar overheated and didn't even hit
Receiving
our
you.
huntsman that much, so that's a good thing.
Moving out.
Alright, we need to keep punishing this reinforcement force as much as we can here before they can get rounds in on us. Ooh, there was a support tank of there was a support lance of vehicles that spawned in our flank. Yep,
I'm on the clock. What do you
been there, done that, bought the t-shirt.
want? All right, let's get down to it.
Completely know what you're saying there, Skewed One. Alright, we have this Evan Jaguar that is overheated over here, so let's do a precision strike for the head.
Let's see if I'm sober enough to line this up.
Hey, another fatal headshot. Having 4 Gosses, a targeting computer, and a level 10 pilot are a nice combination. So that's 10 Evan Jaguar parts we have available. I actually don't mind the Evan Jaguar. For its tonnage, I think it's a pretty solid mech. So, right, Skewed One says, I have a Firestarter, S1, Blackjack, Hermes 2, and Valkyrie. They're currently rounding out my drop team. Where, that's interesting, Skewed One. Where did you drop? What drop location did you select? That's an interesting combination. I'm thinking maybe Davion.
I'm being flanked.
Yeah, I mean Owens. The Owens is really only good in my opinion, and it's actually very good for its tonnage if you use it as a scout mech and as a flanker. That's really the only good thing you can do. Pirate. Oh, I actually did this drop. This playthrough actually started as a pirate, so I can relate to what you're saying there. That reminds me a lot of, yeah, that was very close to my drop, my initial group of mechs when I started as a pirate as well. Oh, trying to backstab my huntsman, huh? That's not very nice.
Receiving you.
Alright, speaking of our huntsman, let's see, we got a turret and a mech here. 2 turrets and a mech here, actually. So, what can we do? Staying super evasive. Staying as evasive as possible. I could pull back with the rest of my company. That might be the smart thing to do. Oh, so you upgraded. It's not every day you say you upgraded to an Irby. But can we all agree that that is true? That's not very often that we say I upgraded to an Irby. Yeah, we got a lot of targets here. This is a 4.5 skull mission against the clans in the urban environment, so you know it's going to be nasty. But we're actually doing pretty good here. There's a lot of targets, but there isn't any overwhelming targets here. I know there's a Warhawk that's about to move up. There's a Warhawk right here. That's probably the biggest threat on the map right now. Ooh.
Light damage. Holding firm.
Almost got a injury on my huntsman. That's not a good start. Probably need to clean up the mechs from the reinforcement force. But I would like to deal with this initial garrison force as well that's now pushing up on me. So one of the challenges, you know, I love switching over to clan mechs because there's so many things they could do. But one thing they are not good at is obviously melee. So I think I need to work at least one inner sphere mech in to each mission, so we have at least one melee bot available. Now that I'm really thinking about it here.
Ready, Commander.
Alright, we need to pull back our Timberwolf. Take a shot at this Night Gear. Oh, missed the tag and the PPC. Not good. Alright, here comes a Marauder. Everybody... Oh no! Headshot on my... Headshot on my Huntsman. Oh man. What are the odds? He was at 6 evasion, and they still got a lucky headshot in. Ooh, you got some laser AMS, huh? Yeah, that was a nasty hit,
What do you need,
Skewed
Commander?
One. That was a nasty, nasty hit. Alright. We need to put our missiles
On
to
the way,
most
nice and
use. Yeah, that could easily have been a fatal injury to my pilot. We're gonna have to see how that works out. Alright, let's do some swarm here, because we got a couple targets in range. He is an issue.
Taking the shot, Commander.
Yeah, that was a nasty hit that we took there on the Huntsman. Huntsman is always getting beat up. Maybe that's telling me something. Maybe that's telling me I need to reconsider my use of the Huntsman, perhaps.
Heading out.
We need to get some enemies off the field here.
All weapons are go.
Got lots of enemies, and none of them are going down as quick as I would like. Oh! They hit their own scout mech. Oh, you have a pilot that has really bad luck? I mean, that's one thing I really love about this game, is you do develop...
Move order received.
Your pilots develop little quirks. You develop an affinity for certain pilots. Some pilots you don't really care about. It's kind of interesting. Ooh, shot for the Night Gear, and we hit the Ebon Jaguar twice. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of a fighting retreat here. Oh, I see. He has a punch bot for urban missions because he can use the short sight lines to get in close. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. All right, let's keep pulling back a little bit. This enemy lance that appeared out of nowhere is definitely giving us a little bit of a headache. Let's do 2. Oh, the hit percentage is so low. Yeah, we might as well just finish off the Night Gear here. And we didn't even do that.
I'm on the clock.
Alright.
One.
So I'm going to take our one... We're going to take our one punch bot. And go in on this enemy Phantom.
Cream of the crop. To the top.
Since the Madar is an inner sphere mech, it doesn't have the negative quirks vis-a-vis melee, so that was a good use of a melee there.
Well, that looks like a no.
Now it did tie up my heaviest, most powerful mech for a melee round, but it was worth it. Because that Phantom was really getting into my rear view. Oh, now we got another Phantom. These Phantoms can be a real pain when you have a whole bunch of heavy mechs. I want to encourage everyone to come into the chat room, ask any questions you have. Also, remind everybody that we have a giveaway. Give us a follow and you're entered into our Funko Pop giveaway. In addition to myself at playing, we also have a Skewed One as our moderator, who is very, very experienced in Battletech Advanced and can most likely answer your questions far better than I. Alright, let's see. Let's see if we can clear out our rear here. Alright. Now the good thing we have here is the fact that this Phantom lost its arm, his leg, so he's got no more evasion. So let's clean this Phantom up. There we go. Get him off the board. Thank you for following us, Frank Edouard and IL Legacy RLI. Thank you for that. All right, let's keep working through these enemy forces. We kind of had to reconstitute our force.
What do you need, Commander?
Because we got kind of flanked out of the blue here. So let's actually move up our
Time to pour on
Night
the
Gear to
speed.
some cover because he's a missile build. And let's finish off this Night Gear, hopefully. No, that Night Gear is
That target's
really
having a
standing
real
up to
bad
multiple
day.
rounds of fire here, which is crazy. Because my Night Gear always seems to be super fragile.
Gold.
Oh, you're that's not true at all, the Skewed One. You give me all kinds of good ideas whenever we talk Battletech, so I definitely consider you easily on par with me as far as knowledge of this mod.
Target's taken a critical hit.
You know, but one of the good things about this mod, or this game, if you're new to Battletech, is there's a lot of people who have lots of hours on this game. So if you can get them to help you, and most people in this community are very helpful,
Copy that.
you can get a lot of knowledge simply by talking to other players or by watching streams. I checked the other day, a Skewed One, I'm actually just over 4,000 hours of Battletech now, which kind of floors me every time I see that number.
Connection.
And then, for example, I equate that into hours. So I did the calculations, and I think it was like 168 days of Battletech.
Don't worry, don't worry. I'm okay. They barely
Yeah.
touched me.
If you need any feedback on Melee, I can't recommend anybody higher than a Skewed One. He has a real affinity for Melee in this game. 706, I would have thought you had a lot more hours than 706. Alright, I'm going to cheat a little bit. We're going to use a Precision Strike. Just because I need to get rid of this Phantom. It's driving me crazy. Normally I don't like to use Precision Strike that much, but sometimes when you have heavy mechs facing up against light mechs, that's when you really get into trouble.
All right.
they can be really hard for heavy and assault mechs to deal with, actually. These light mechs. So we'll go in for melee again on this other Phantom. Oh!
I can see why people enjoy
The
this
skewed one. The skewed one, how many megabytes of RAM are you running on your system? I'm assuming you have a newer computer, so you have a decent amount of RAM. That's one thing that really helps with this game is RAM
Ready, Commander.
is very helpful. Alright. How's our melee chances here? See, the melee chances for clan mechs are horrible. See, it's 11% chance of melee. So that doesn't really help me. I'm actually better off just backing off and taking some shots here with some SRMs. So let's do that. Maybe we can finish off this Phantom. Not quite. That's good, Skewed One. I know the box for BattleTech says 8 megabytes, but really you need at least 16 to really run this game efficiently because of the memory bleed that's inherent with this game. I currently run 40.
What do you need, Commander?
Just to have plenty for gameplay and then also for streaming. So I have 40 megabytes of RAM that I put in, and that seems to work pretty well.
Taking the shot, Commander.
Oh, you backed BattleTech way back on the Kickstarter? I wish I had done that, because the
Commander?
initial Kickstarter deals for BattleTech were pretty amazing. I think for like $40 in the Kickstarter, you ending up with a basically the ability to play the base game and all the DLCs for $40. If I'm not mistaken, that was the initial round in Kickstarter. And I certainly paid a lot more than that with all the DLCs.
Ready for orders.
You know, I was kind of skeptical about the DLCs. The first DLC I felt was not that great. So instead of paying for the season pass, I paid for them one at a time. If I could go back in time, you backed Harebrained Schemes and Shadowrun games too. Wow. All right, iCypher. So you guys are like shareholders in Harebrained Schemes. Skewed One says there's a lot of lying on my hour count. I know there's been a few days I forgot to quit out before going to bed. Well, it only counts turns, I believe. So I don't think you could leave your computer idle and still have it count. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know my 4,000 hours have been earned the hard way, which still floors me every time I think about it. That's a lot of hours. All right, let's get this Marauder down on the ground. If we can. Nice hits there on the Marauder. Still got a lot of enemies on this map. We already lost our Huntsman, so basically my margin for losing mechs has been eroded. All right. No. See, even our Warhawk, which should be a good mech for melee, has horrible melee percentages. Drives me crazy. All right, let's just clean up this Marauder. I don't care about salvage on a Marauder. There we go. There goes the Marauder.
Mech destroyed.
Oh, you think it just bases it on the time
What do you want?
that the game is open? That's possible. All right, let's see if we can finish off this Phantom with some more melee.
Crap. To the top.
I really need to make sure I have one mech that I can do melee with all the time. I actually have a
I can see why people enjoy
King
this.
Crab that's currently in the mech bay that's being upgraded, and King Crabs are great for melee, so that might be my punch bot. Really like the damage that that they can do. Alright, I'm just gonna go in for a punch on this Phantom
Moving, Commander.
because we're gonna shoot our SRMs anyway. So even if I miss, we'll still shoot our SRMs here. That should finish off the Phantom.
Scratch another target.
I don't have any leg actuators. I know that you're a big fan of those, but I have to in my next playthrough. I'm really gonna try to keep that in mind, that I should look at the leg actuators that are available in the stores.
What do you need, Commander?
Because I know you're a big proponent of using those leg actuators. Alright, I don't like having my Night Gear missile boat exposed here. But I'd like to maybe take out this heavy Jaguar here. Didn't take it out, but we took out a lot of the weapons.
That target's having a real bad day.
So I agree, Skewed One. That's going to be something I'm going to really look into with my next playthrough, is those leg actuators, especially on the Madar. 10 to 30% damage would be great. Now, what are the tonnage costs of the leg actuators? Because that's my concern. Because
Double time.
if I have to give up, say, a Gauss rifle to put in leg actuators, I'm probably not going to do that. But if it's one of those things that, oh, it doesn't cost anything. All right, so it's simply just acquiring the components and installing them is the cost. Okay,
Firing.
that's definitely interesting. That's something I should look into. So there you have it, folks. The Skewed One
I'm here.
is giving us yet another way of playing Battletech Advanced.
I copy.
I've never really put a lot of thought into putting in leg actuators, and he has come up with something cool that we should all consider. Hey, I'm all for more melee if it doesn't cost me any tonnage. That's always my big concern. I know some of the ARM components that you put in that increase melee have a tonnage cost associated with it.
Don't worry, don't worry.
There you
I'm
go.
Okay. They
A
barely
Skewed One,
touched
you
me.
just
Orders.
echoed what I just said about how some of the ARM actuators are actually cost you quite a bit of tonnage. That's probably where I lost my interest in that sort of a adjustment to my mechs, but if they don't have any tonnage, then I definitely am going to look into it next playthrough.
Damn it.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
That's a good point, iCypher. One of the strengths of the Victor is that it is good for melee.
Let's
that
make
is
some
absolutely
bad
true.
decisions at high speed.
Ugh. Horrible hit percent chances here. But luckily we've got plenty of Gauss
See
ammo,
if I'm
so...
sober enough to line this up.
Oh, 4 Gauss misses.
Sometimes
That is
failure
rough.
I can see why people enjoy it.
Ready, Commander.
All right, so as far as mechs, we've got these four targets left here. So let's push forward and clear out these reinforcements, and then we'll go back and finish off the base.
Standing
It's going to be a short stream today because I have a meeting at the top of the hour.
What do you need, Commander?
And it's a stream meet. It's a Zoom meeting, so I have to actually put on a suit and tie, shave. That's a lot to ask from somebody to do at 7 in the morning. I'm just gonna say it. I'll do it. I have no problem doing it. It's part of my job, but a 7 a.m. meeting, Zoom meeting, is not fun.
That target's having a
But in the scope of things, it's a small price to pay. iCipher,
I'm ready for
I
orders.
use sensor locks early on, but once I get tags, or really tags, once I get tags, I tend to put as many tags as I can on my mechs, and then I use the tags in place of sensor locks, because obviously the sensor locks take away a turn for you.
Targeting.
So I would much rather use a tag and then still allow the mech to fire. So generally speaking, I use sensor lock early on in my campaigns, and then once I get some tags on my scouts, then I don't bother with sensor locks that much, because sensor locks are only good till the enemy moves, whereas a tag is good for 3 turns. So not only do you get to continue to fire instead of just doing sensor locks, but the advantage is actually much superior with a tag than it is with a sensor lock. And then you don't have to worry about figuring out, oh wait, has he moved? Have I moved? You have to, this way you just know, if I hit him with a tag, I'm going to have an advantage with my sensors.
Yes, Commander.
So that's the route I go. Alright, so let's push up our Warhawk, because I know there's a Warhawk over here.
Looking out.
He isn't even doing anything, which is the oddest thing. This Warhawk has just been sitting here. You would think he would have moved up to support the rest of his force, but we're going to make him pay right now. Alright, nice hits on that Warhawk.
Damn it. Heat damage.
A skewed one, what do you feel about sensor lock? I mean, I feel like once I have tags instead, I just switch to using tags. I feel it's a much better system, and it's much more efficient. Now, sensor locks are really key early in the game when you have new pilots and you want to make sure that they're able to hit the broadside of a barn. That's when sensor lock is useful early on in your career. Alright, let's do headshots on this Warhawk. Any luck? No. Got some good hits in, but I really would have liked to have knocked him out there. Alright, let's keep punishing this Warhawk before he can get any shots in on us. Nice hits there.
Dealt a heavy hit there.
What do you need, Commander? On the way, nice and slow.
Alright. I really don't want to hit the Warhawk with our missiles
Roger
because
that, Commander.
I want to
Big
save it
ugly
for
quantum.
headshots. So let's go after some of the buildings that we're supposed to destroy here. Oh. I hate it when you're like 1/2 of a bar away from destroying a building. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
You can't give me that? I know it's math, but still. Sometimes I just want to say, you can give me that extra half a bar and give me the kill. Come on. Let's just see. We should be able to finish off this building just with our heavy laser here.
Roger.
Enemy structure eliminated.
Alright, one structure down.
That building's gone.
Yeah.
Alright, and what I'm doing here is I'm basically saying that I'm gonna leave the Warhawk there for Gauss rifle shots, because I want to try to get a headshot on that one. So we'll just work on some of these turrets and take out these buildings,
Turret.
and then we'll let our Madar finish off that Warhawk. Alright, heat is an issue here.
Taking the shot.
I'm sure glad I got a tag on that building. That's really going to help us.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Madar, can you move up, and
All right, let's get down to it.
Tex, can you please finish off this Warhawk? Preferably with a headshot. No luck there.
Well, I needed salvage
No
anyway.
luck at all.
Ready, Commander. Moving, Commander.
Keep working on these buildings. So, Eschewed 1, you mentioned the other day that the hit
What do you
points
need,
for
Commander?
buildings have been nerfed. That is absolutely true.
On the way, nice and slow.
In the past, those buildings probably would have been knocked out a long time ago. I'm going to hate myself for this, but I really just want to get rid of this Warhawk.
Time to press the element.
It's getting on my
Pull
nerves.
up the element.
There we go. There goes the Warhawk. How many parts
That's one
did
more
I get?
bad guy off the
Only
board.
one part. I probably could have gotten a lot more parts if I'd been patient there, but I was just annoyed by the fact that I should have hit it in the head
Coordinates
on one of those 3 salvos. The chances of me not hitting the head are pretty low with that build. Let's finish off this
Give them
Gauss turret.
everything I got.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna take a quick look at the Skewed One's punch bot here. Alright, so he had an Atlas. I mean, you call it a punch bot, but it still has plenty of firepower in and of itself. But I see what you did there, Skewed One, as far as turning that into a mech that really maximizes melees. If you guys want to see a good melee mech, definitely check that out.
On it.
That is spot on.
Affirmative.
Right, there goes that last turret.
That one's gone.
That's true.
Go.
Sometimes with Atlases, it's really hard to fill up the tonnage. The problem with Atlases is sometimes they just don't have the weapon points
Target confirmed.
for the tonnage that they have, and there's only so much that you can do. I agree.
Brought it down, Commander.
I'm on the clock. What do you want?
Now, another thing you could do,
All
a
right,
Skewed One, is you could try to set up like an artillery build for the Atlas, and then as the Atlas closes in, you can switch it to melee. That's another option too.
insurance.
if you're looking for a way to add an artillery
Boy, I should call
mech
it
in.
winter.
So
Looks
you
like
could
the
have
market's
an
just
artillery
opened up.
mech and a punch bot all in one mech. I think that could work. I think it could. Alright, let's get this last building and get out of Dodge. That's true, Icipher.
What do you
I
need,
agree
Commander?
with you, but sometimes, even with adding armor
On the way,
and
nice
heat
and
sinks,
slow.
you just run out of room, pod space in an Atlas. It's the one weakness of an Atlas, really. Alright, let's see if we can finish off this.
Roger that, Commander.
Finish
Shooting a
off these
big ugly
buildings
block
and
of
get
cover.
out of here.
Standing by. Move order received. Aye, aye.
Yeah, these buildings are definitely a lot stronger than they used to be.
What do you need?
I mean, now, it makes sense because this is a 4.5 skull mission, that the buildings would be hard to destroy, but this is pretty seriously.
Locked on target.
Maybe they nerfed it too much because these buildings seem too hard. Oh yeah, fingers crossed that my Huntsman pilot survived that. Let's see what happens. He was a level 10 pilot, so the chances are that he survived just because of his guts. But we'll see. He could have died. All right. All right, so we got some minor damage, nothing too serious. Oh no, Scrub died. Scrub killed in action. It's not really a surprise because that head hit was so vicious and so out of the blue that he probably just didn't have time to eject. So that's disappointing because he was my best tactical pilot, but it happens. All right, so that's a bummer. We lost our pilot. All right, let's see what we can see. All right, so we'll take the Warhawk part because I love Warhawks. Let's take a look at components before we start taking mechs because, you know, I'm not really in love with a lot of the mechs that we got out of that mission. So let's see if there's anything that's too hard. Ooh, I do like large heavy lasers. That is something I really like for the tonnage. Heavy medium lasers and heavy large lasers are definitely really nice components. I'd do anything for a heatsink kit right now. No heatsink kit. No heatsink kit at all. So then the question becomes, there's lots of engines here, so theoretically I should get some engines for free. All right, so let's look at the mechs again. So we got Ebon Jaguar, Mad Dog, Night Gear. I already have plenty of Night Gears. You know, you guys might think I'm crazy, but I actually would like to put a Phantom together. I think a Phantom would be interesting. Probably a mistake, but I want to play around with the Phantom. All right, so we got Ebon Jaguar, Mad Dog, Marauder, Night Gear, Phantom, Rifleman, and Warhawk Prime. Tell me I got some of those XL engines. No? I didn't get one of those XL engines. Boo. Boo. Skewed One said he lost a pilot because I didn't realize their injury was actually making them bleed out. It was a battle of attrition before that point. Oh, okay. So, Skewed One, are you thinking if you had ejected the pilot, they might have survived? But like I said, I'm going to do a fresh start on the next update. Sorry, Scrub. Let's check out the memorial wall. All right. This mission has been this year has been pretty vicious. This playthrough. So I've lost Scrub, hit in the head by an enemy marauder, and Wolfbane's hit in the head with a quad heavy turret. So I've had 2 losses in my mech company, which is actually amazingly low. If you look at the lore, a mercenary company going for multiple years and only losing 2 pilots is almost unheard of. Alright, so this Huntsman, all it lost was its head, ironically. So we can actually get it back in a day. Alright, so we'll do that. This Huntsman might be time for the Huntsman to go on to greener pastures. It just might be. We'll have to see. Was negligence on my part. They had a broken jaw, so I didn't think that would kill somebody. Yeah. So, Skewed One, are you saying that if pilots get an injury, that you should probably eject them to increase the chances they survive? Because that's kind of an interesting take now that I think about it. I'll have to think about that. Alright, so let's put this Phantom together. I don't think we have anything else we can put together. Let's see. Alright, so I could put together the Phantom Prime. Its primary configuration, the Phantom is an electronics marvel to root out hidden units, active probe, ECM suite. To engage the enemy, has LRM-5 launchers. What? That seems silly. Oh, I can actually build a Viper too. Okay. So let's build the Phantom Prime because it's really a scout, which is really what I want right now. It was a goodish. It was 11 turns before the mech collapsed without getting hit in the head again. Oh, wow. That's interesting. That is interesting. Alright, so I'm going to put this Phantom together. The Phantom is a relatively new mech that was recently added.
Is cleared for fighting.
And this looks like it's going to be a good scout mech. Another good scout mech here is actually the Viper. Close range harasser, Viper A, or I can do the Viper C. I think we're going to do the Viper C, and then we're going to change up the weapons. I just need some scouts. That's what I need. The problem is I was using the Huntsman as a scout, and it's not really a good scout because it's not very fast. So now I'm going to have 2 scouts. Alright, so let's look at the Phantom Prime. See what we can do to tweak this thing. Alright, so let's look at the equipment first of all. Okay, so we could put stealth on. Wait, I can't take this. I can't take the ferrofibers off. It's an integrated component. I can't take that off. Okay. All right, so let's look at this thing. It has a Guardian ECM. It has a tag. It has an ER small laser. I'm gonna upgrade the firepower here a little bit. We're definitely taking these LRMs off. They are pretty much useless. All right, so let's see what we can do with the whole 2.5 tons that we have. All right, what are we gonna? So the Phantom is a speed build. All right, so let's see what we can do about that. It's got the active probe. It's got a Guardian ECM. Maybe I should put an armored cowl on this thing, just because it's going to be very squishy. Okay, Skewed One. I'll talk to you later. I'm probably going to wrap up this stream pretty quickly because I have to get ready for my meeting. And I don't think we have enough time for another mission. So I'm actually just seeing what we can do with the time we have left here. All right. Let's see if we can increase the firepower here a little bit. We could do a heavy medium laser here and take out this ER medium laser, put in another heavy laser. So all of a sudden this thing actually has a backstabbing ability of about 10. Alright, so that gives me some more tonnage, right? So we got a tag. We can put another... I wonder if I want to put tag in this thing. Probably not. It's going to be really evasive. I think we have a computer that increases evasion. Is that something I have in the mech bay? Let's see. I can take the Guardian ECM out and put an Angel ECM. That could work. Alright, so that gives me a little bit more evasion. A little bit more sustainability. Guardian ECM, 2 heavy medium lasers, and I need one more. I need to get the most bang for my buck out of probably put in this ER small laser again that I took off earlier. Yeah, I mean, this is a scout mech. It's not supposed to be a world breaker mech, but I think that's actually a pretty good configuration, because I was using the Huntsman as my scout and it didn't really work. This is probably a much better build for a scout, actually. It's really more, when you look at it, it's really more battle armor than a mech. Kind of interesting build. All right, let's look at the Viper. All right, we're going to do the same thing with the Viper. Try to maximize its sensor locking capabilities. We're taking these machine guns out. Those are not going to help us. That's a lot of tonnage in machine gun ammo for a small mech. We're not going to do that. All right. So we could turn this thing into a backstabber for sure. Alright, we can actually put in a heavy large laser here. Heavy large laser. Heavy large laser. Let's take out the ER medium lasers. Because we can get more bang for our buck here if we do a whole bunch of ER small lasers. I'm also going to take the flamers off too. So let's take the flamers off. ER small laser, ER small laser. I wish we had some micros. Let's see, this thing also needs a tag. So let's do a tag. And another small pulse. And let's see. Oh, there's another flamer here. Let's get rid of that flamer. And we're going to put in a small pulse. I don't have the tonnage for it. Alright. See. Yeah, we can just do an ER small laser here. So this actually is a nice little build. We've got decent firepower, lots of movement. So this is going to be one of our other sensor lockers and backstabbers. So that could work out pretty good actually.
Logged and noted. Shouldn't be too hard.
So let's move the Phantom up so we can play around with it next stream. Same thing with the Viper. Now, these are too light on firepower. I wouldn't take more than one. Either I would take the Viper or the Phantom with me on a mission. I wouldn't take both, because that's a lot of tonnage, a lot of slots that we would have tied up for sensor lockers. But I think those two are going to do a lot better for sensor locking than our Phantom did. So that'll be good. So that'll end our stream today. Just a quick stream because I need to start work early. But hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow at our regular time, which is 9